Foremost, hi. My name is Mafe. I am a senior designer here at Avo Academy. I have been a designer for over 12 years, and I've been in the field of UX UI for the past 5 years. Throughout this whole time, I've had the pleasure of working with so many companies and teams, and we've launched beautiful products. So, this is a field that I really love and I'm very passionate about. So, I'm very excited to share a lot of things about it. And also, I am an educator. I love sharing a ton of tips and tricks of UX with people and basically everything about UX with those who are interested. So, in our conversation today, we're going to talk about a different alternative, a different job route that you can take after college that maybe you haven't heard about or that it's not as common as the traditional career path. So, without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and we're just going to get started. Please let me know. Are you seeing my screen? Do you see the presentation? Please let me know in the comments if everything is good. Awesome. So let's get started. So for many decades, there has been this certain career path that has been kind of predetermined for us, and it's something we've heard over and over and over, and it's the mold of the traditional career path. So in this traditional career path, we spend 4 to 5 years in the academic institution, and finally, once we're done, we get a degree. And with this degree, we're hoping to land our first and entry level job. So hopefully, a few months after graduation, we land this amazing job and we start growing in a company or different companies and growing our skills in this particular field until finally we retire. So typically, this is what we've been told. And also, I want to mention if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please drop them in the comment and I'll just address them and we'll have like this conversation. But what if I told you that there is another path that no one's telling you until now? So this alternative route offers you the possibility of spending less than a year learning the basics, the principles, like the foundations that get you started. By the end of this year, you get a certificate, but something different than the traditional career path is by the time you get here, you would also have real life experience, especially in programs like Avo Academy. We take this very seriously because experience, it's a very important currency in the job market right now. So by the time you hit the year where you've been learning the basics, the principles, you are also getting experience. After you have this experience and you have the certificate, you get to land your entry level job. But a big difference with other industries is that you have the possibility of landing a very high paying entry level job. So, on average, you could be seeing a salary of 85K. Another thing that would happen in this alternative route is that you will get to work in very exciting projects solving important problems. So obviously this can happen in other industries, like if you go and you're studying to find the cure for cancer, for sure you're gonna be solving important problems. But the fun part about this alternative career path, alternative route, is that are the small things that build up and that have a huge impact on people's lives. So you are working every day and you can see daily how you're impacting people's lives. Another very cool thing about this alternative career path is that you get the chance to shape the future instead of waiting for the future to happen. So, in this different routes, We are creating what's to come. We are setting trends. We're defining where many things go. And that is very, very exciting. And finally, this will keep you on your toes. You're gonna have to keep learning and you're gonna keep growing. This is a constantly evolving field, so you're not gonna get bored. Every day, every year, something new is going to happen, and you're gonna have to quickly adapt. So, definitely dynamic. So, what is this exciting and mysterious career path? It's none other than everything related to the tech industry. So, welcome to the tech industry. And the tech industry is not just Facebook and Apple, which could be the first things that come to mind when we talk about the tech industry. Technology is absolutely everywhere. It is a transversal industry that also permeates all the other sectors. So now, more than ever, technology is touching everything: grocery shopping, even reading books. And this is a very particular, interesting case that I saw, and it's Colgate just launched a smart toothbrush that you can pair with an application, and it's going to help you improve your oral hygiene habits. So it has this gamification that gives you point for brushing your teeth, and it also maps your mouth so you can see where you already brushed, so you can be even thorough. And yeah, it's a very interesting thing that something as mundane as brushing your teeth is now connected with technology. So this is the tip of the iceberg. Typically, everything in our lives, it's going to be permeated and related to technology. So another example, the robots that vacuum and mop your house, they also have an application on their obviously a technology item, but they pair with your phone, because actually the smartphone was the one that changed so many things. Obviously internet, smartphones, because it allows you to connect with so many things. So technology is absolutely everywhere. It's one of the industries that has a bigger projected growth, and that projected growth implies more jobs, more money in this industry. So, what is the tech career path? So, obviously, you get some basic training, but you can do quick careers, as we will see a little bit further down the presentation. But something really cool about the tech career path, is that experience here, it's more important than degrees. Knowing your craft, it's going to become a bigger, uh, important, or a most more important thing when you're going through an interview process than a degree. So that's something to keep in mind, because it's a field that thrives with innovation. It's a place where you can let your ideas shine. So if you're a person who likes to see how their ideas has a deep impact in an organization, in the users, this is a great career path for you. Also, we are working with others to creating the future, because every technological innovation involves a ton of tech jobs. So you are always working with others, and we are the ones that are launching new features, new trends that transform and shape our society. It's a very dynamic industry, and we get to go at a supersonic pace. So this is really fun, because in technology, you're not going to find the type of job that it's like like you do over and over again, and it's exactly the same. Well, there are similar components, but always there's something new going on that you will incorporate into your career and the way you're doing things. So you are not likely to get bored, because you have to keep learning and innovating. So this is a field where you don't get to stand still and life passes through. It's a place where it's hands on deck, where we have to really, the rubber meets the road and we have to just go and do things. So it's very interesting. And also has an enormous growth potential. So if you're thinking about growing and having more responsibility and growing as a professional, as a person, it's a great alternative because you have to keep learning many new things, and this will come with bigger salaries. So, for example, a tech vice president can make up to 552K a year, which is a very interesting sum. So, tech industry holds a lot of money. A very interesting question is, okay, so this tech industry sounds really interesting. What can I do? What kind of jobs are there? So each year, new tech roles are created because technology is always evolving. New needs appear, new technology appears, and we have to incorporate them. So there are more than 80 types of tech-related jobs, and they vary from web and app developer. We have UX, UI designers. We have project and product managers. AI has a ton of things now. AI designer, AI engineer. So there are multiple jobs that you can do in the tech industry. The question is more, what do you like to do? Are you a person who likes more building things? You like more structure? You are very logical. You see patterns. So if that's the case and you really enjoyed this, consider a career in web and app development. Software engineering can be great for you too. AI related to AI engineering could be great. If you're a person who likes analysis, who thrives in understanding things and seeing little details and understanding and distilling information, data and everything related to data can be very good for you. So data analyst, data science. So there is a bit for everyone. Or if you're like me and you are more on the creative side, you are a very visual person, you love interacting with others and the interaction with others, maybe UX UI could be a great fit for you. So there are a wealth of options where you can choose from. The matter is, which one do you resonate with, right? Which one do you like? Today, we're going to talk about a very important role that it's very dear to my heart, and that it's one of the pillars of the tech industry, which is UX UI design. So why do I say that UX UI, it's a pillar to the tech industry, that it's a big statement? So it is so important because it's a field where many others like revolve around, and UX UI helps connect many of the tech jobs with the users. So it's like a binder. We have two important, very important pillars in the tech industry. One is data. Everything you do, it's measurable. How much time do you spend, for example, on Instagram or on Google reading your emails? All that is throwing data. At what times of day do you visit certain websites? What are your habits? Everything now, it's quantifiable, and everything now throws data. At what time do you drive? What is the typical route you take? Everything, it's data. So the data, it's very important because it gives us insights as, for example, how much time on average a person is spending on a certain website, for example. And that is important because if the person is spending too little time, it means they are not engaging with the website. If they're spending too long, it could be that they just left the window open and left. If they are spending maybe 5 minutes, it could be good. So it depends on what we want. If we want, for example, if we're working on a step situation where you're going to go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3, and you're spending too much time on the step 1, for example, then that's not a good metric. So data, it's really, really important. And obviously we have code and algorithms. You've probably heard about the Google algorithm, and Facebook and everything has like algorithms, and it's like this secret source of truth and knowledge that it's so important. And definitely code and algorithms are a huge and very important pillar. But data and code on their own, they are not enough. They're worth how they become important. It's in how they interact with the user. And in the center of the interaction, it's UX UI design. So I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. So do you find this screen appealing? What are your thoughts about the screen? Do you want to engage with it? Do you feel it's fascinating, easy to understand? Do you feel like, yeah, this is something you want to interact with? What about now? So, code on its own, even though it's an extraordinary, intelligent, practical, useful code, it is not um, as impactful as after it goes through the design process. Exactly. It needs CSS. It needs the styling, right? It needs to have a language that a user can understand. And this language is written language, it's visual language, is interaction. And those parameters are set by UX UI designers that later developers transform into code. So obviously, I am not going to say that UX design it's like the best and it can do well without data and code. That it's not, absolutely not the point. But it's how the three of them are so important. But in the middle, it's always going to be UX design, because it's the translator from all this amazing data and code to human language. And then it touches base with the user and also communicates to the code and the data what is going on. So in the middle of it all, we have UX UI. So basically, it's a bridge that help us translate complex functionalities into intuitive and user-friendly experiences. So who are the UX UI designers? So you've probably heard about there's been a lot of buzz in the past weeks about Apple launching their VR system, and a ton of tech people worked on this particular product. People that work in the hardware, right? So in the way that the data is processed. And all the technical parts of it, but also in the team, there are so many UX UI designers, because when you put the glasses on, you are transported into another world where you interact with technology. And this interaction, it's done or it's been distilled by a UX UI designer. So who are we? We are future shapers. So this is a great example of how we are impacting uh, the trends and the technology, and how we are also in the middle of it all. So we are future shapers. As we mentioned earlier, we are bridges. We connect the user with companies, and with companies, the data teams, the software teams, everything. And we connect all that with the user. So we are in the middle of it all. We are the human side of the technology, because we are always thinking, one of the traits of a UX designer is that we are able to empathize with the user. So we have to think about our user. What are their needs? What kind of problems do they have? What are their expectations? What are they used to doing? What changes can we introduce that are not going to be very disruptive? So we're always thinking how we can add like that human touch, right? Um, and we are definitely experience enablers, because it's through thinking all this like needs and problems the user may have, we go and we try to solve them. So we are always trying to provide the best experience possible. We want users to have a positive, not just feeling with something, but a truly positive experience. So there is this very famous restaurateur in New York. His name is Will Guidara, and he wrote this very interesting book that it's called Unreasonable Hospitality. And he talks about what makes a customer return to a restaurant, for example. And it's always the experience. It's always going one step beyond, to have to provide people with an experience that they won't forget. So we UX designers trends are like the hospitality department as well of the technology. We want users to feel at home with our products. So, a very important question, and it's who can become a UX designer? And before I go on, I really want to say that we value your thoughts, and we are UX designers, and we want to do better and provide you a better experience every time. So, it would mean a lot to us if you can take 1 minute of your time and scan this QR code and fill out a very quick survey. And by doing that, as a thank you, we are going to grant you a coupon of 250 of our foundations course. So I am going to drop the link as well here in the chat in case that it's better for you. But it would mean a lot to us. We want to improve and keep creating content that it's meaningful to you and that you'll enjoy. So we would appreciate it if you can fill it out. Okay, so who can become a UX designer? So many people from different backgrounds make great designers. But I am going to give you a few examples of careers that transition really well into UX UI. So art, obviously, they can translate, for example, skills in creative thinking, in visual storytelling, aesthetics, the attention to detail. Those are things that you can definitely repurpose and bring into the UX UI industry, and that this gives you a ton of experience already. Like you can translate this a lot into this field. For example, people who studied English or literature, also they make amazing UX UI designers because they have very strong communication skills. They have analytical thinking, and that is very important because we have to translate a ton of data into practical experiences that are positive for users. So this analytical thinking comes really in handy as a UX UI designer. Also, the ability to process complex ideas. As I mentioned earlier, we have so much data and so much information, and it's up to us to think how we can use all that to the benefit of the user. One of my favorite fields that transfer well into UX UI is psychology. Psychologists are not only amazing fit, but they are super necessary in the UX UI field, because at the core of our work, it's the user. So understanding the user behavior, it's paramount. Empathy, the ability to connect with another person, that it's not you, because some of the common mistakes designers can make, it's to design as if they were the user. Many times that is not the case. So having that empathy and the ability of putting yourself in the other's shoes, it's super important. Obviously, they also have research methodologies and analysis and the analytic capacities, which is something that we need a lot as UX UI designers. Historians also make great designers because they have amazing research abilities, they have critical analysis, but they also have this amazing capacity for storytelling and pattern recognition. So within UX UI, there's like a branch that it's UX copywriter, which is the person who's in charge of building the story for the user in a way that it's very easy to digest and understand. So historians are really good in creating those narratives. So very important, and also great candidates to become UX UI designers. Then we have graphic designers. I am a converted graphic designers, and we make amazing UX UI designers because we already bring a lot of skills in visual communication. We understand layout design. Even though it's different than graphic design, the principles apply and are easy to translate. We have proficiency in design tools. So this is a nice to have because obviously we are designing and we have experience with branding and colors. So it's a great transition. We also have anthropologists and sociologists and all these people that study like society and humans because of their research capacity. The cultural sensitivity, this is very important because if you, for example, go to the internet and search for the UI of a Chinese application, you are going to see that their aesthetic, it's very crowded. Like you're going to see that there is very little space between things because in their culture, they want to make the most out of the space. So this is part of their culture. If we were to create an application for that market using the Western principles, it would not have a good reception within those users because there is a big impact. There's a big translation, like absorption of culture into design. So anthropologists make absolutely great designers because they understand how culture permeates things as technology and also understand the behaviors and motivations. But there is a big question that always is lingering in the back of the mind for the people who are considering transitioning to UX UI that don't come from an artistic career. And it's, what if I can't draw? What if I can't design? So the thing is that this is not exactly true for this specific type of design, especially now that we have AI. Because first and foremost, this is a skill that, and everyone that is first trying something, as time goes by and they keep practicing and practicing, they become proficient. So practice makes perfect. If you don't know how to, I am not a great drawer, uh, but I am a very good designer because I've been doing this for a long time and I've practiced and practiced and practiced a lot. So every time someone tells me I am not good with design or I can draw, I love to bring the example of this amazing artist. Her name is Sarah Shakil. She's actually a dentist. And she opened this Instagram account and she has a passion for creating compositions and collages of very weird things. So she brings a lot of things that would not come together to create powerful messages. And you can see in the first example how her first collages were so like basic. They don't have shadows. You can definitely see that this doesn't come together. But as the time went by, she started to become so good And she has this particular fascination for diamonds and sparkly things, so stars and glowing things. So look at the middle image, and this looks really good. The way she uses shadows to create depth and make a more realistic image, it's really interesting. And now, the advantage that we have right now is that we have AI. So in the third image, we see what Sarah is doing right now with the aid of AI. So she uses all her creativity and the power of AI to create this amazing, wonderful worlds. So if you don't follow her, and it's weird, maybe you are not, but if you don't, I encourage you to go to her Instagram and see the amazing world she's creating with the use of AI. So, what if you can draw? First, practice makes perfect, and two, with the use of AI, chances are that you are not going to need to spend a ton of time learning a software. It's better that you spend a ton of time learning how to do great prompts for AI. So, a final question is, how can you become a UX UI designer? So, the first step, very important one, it's to make the decision. So, I hope that you can take everything that you've learned today and keep it, like put it in a bubble, but do your own research and come to your own conclusions, and then land on the fact that you deserve this opportunity. So there are so many interesting things happening right now, and you can become part and leader of this whole innovation and this basically digital era that we are living in. The second step after making the decision, it's get educated. So find a trusted source of knowledge where you can get your information and learn how to design. Our program provides structure learning for those who really want to make a career change. So more than like do it on your own, we also have a ton of mentorship. So we help people make transition to UI as friendly as possible, because it's a daunting task, it's a huge step, and we are there for you every step of the way. The third step, really important, it's to build the portfolio. So, because this is such a visual field and a very important currency is experience, you can showcase that in your portfolio. So, gather all your projects that you're going to work on. If you decide to enroll in Avo Academy, we have the possibility that where you can uh, work on real projects in real life projects and build a strong portfolio. So you're going to combine all your projects and you're going to showcase your work, so you can let the world know that you are a UX UI designer and show everyone all the amazing things that you can do. And finally, it's you're getting hired and you're going to start your first job. You're going to go through the interview process and you're going to get hired. And it's in our data. We have seen how people have landed jobs with higher salaries. They have more time for themselves, more freedom, and most importantly, the ability to change their lives forever. Um, so this is it. If this topic interests you, I encourage you and invite you to schedule a call with one of our career advisors where they can help you guide into if transitioning to UX is a good fit for you, or if there's another career that could be a better fit for you. So please schedule this completely free call and talk to an expert where you can discuss what could be a better career path for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I am wondering if you have any question before we go. I am here and would love to answer any if you have. So, just in case it's easier for you, I'm gonna paste the link here for the Calendly, where you can schedule the call with the career advisor. And if you are watching this video later in one of our channels, probably the links are gonna be in the descriptions. So, once again, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been my pleasure sharing this information with you, and I am looking forward to seeing you in Avo Academy or reviewing your survey to see how can we provide more of this information or what kind of information you are interested in. So, let me share this question. So you mentioned AI. Would the course implement AI in the discovery phases, persona development? Yes. Thank you, Shelda, for asking this question. We are about to launch our foundations program enhanced with AI. So we are going to show you how can you develop a product for AI and using AI tools. So to answer your question, yes. The course now, it's going to begin to or has branch where it's dedicated to AI. Let's see, you have the other question. So, are the courses also industry specific, such as healthcare, retail, and auto? Also, great question. So, the direct answer is no, but you have unlimited mentorship. So, what this means is that you can work with mentors throughout all the time that it's going to take you to complete the course to ask for personalized feedback. So, what industry are you coming from, if you don't mind me asking? So, to it doesn't matter which healthcare. So you're coming from healthcare. This is awesome, and there are a ton of graduates who've come from healthcare. Uh, Recently, I learned about a graduate who was a caregiver for her father, who used to have a very serious condition, and how she was able to translate all those skills. And now she's working in a company that is in an application oriented to cancer patients. So, to answer your question, throughout the program, you can have access to mentorship, and you can start working with your mentors in how can you translate all those skills into healthcare. And obviously, if there are certain things that you need extra support with, you can talk to the mentors and they can help you and guide you through any obstacles you may have. So no, we are not specifically for a certain industry, but we are a personalized course, so you will be able to ask as many questions and receive abundance of guidance. Is there anything else you would like to know? Like I have time. I'm here for you, so I'm more than happy to answer as many questions as you may have. Of course. So how long it's the course? So it depends, but it can vary between 8 to 16 weeks. So if you, for example, are working and you can only dedicate a few hours a day to the course, it's going to take you up till 16 weeks. But if you, for example, can dedicate a full time to go through the course, you can absolutely make it in 8 weeks, which is about 2 months. That is our foundations course. We also have the Career Jumpstart that takes about 3 months. And in Career Jumpstart, you are going to keep learning advanced design skills. And here is where you will work in real life projects with other designers and senior designers. And you're going to receive deep and personalized help building your portfolio, your resume, and you are going to receive for up to 12 months unlimited mentorship and preparation for interviews. So the foundations is for you to learn all the basics, and Career Jumpstart is, as its name, it's to start your career. It's to put everything in place so you can build a beautiful portfolio and shape your resume so you can start searching for a job in the UX UI field. So it is self-paced in terms that we have the course structure, and you can advance as quickly as you can, but it's up to 16 weeks. So unless there's something major in your life, you should be able to complete this course in 16 weeks. And to the question if we have live classes, most of the classes and the materials are pre-recorded, but we do have live sessions with experts in a certain topic that you can join, or we have weekly conversations with other designers where you can join and ask questions and get specific answer for your questions. I'm just gonna take a sip of water, lemonade. Of course. If you have any other question, I'm also here for you. So, anyway, another thing that you can do is schedule the call with the career advisor and have a one-on-one conversation with an expert who can also guide you and look into your particular case and your particular worries and your particular circumstances, and see what could be a better alternative for you. And yeah. So for the moment, again, thank you for joining me today. It's been my pleasure sharing this information with you and being able to answer to the best of my abilities all your questions. Um, I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I am looking forward to seeing you in Avocado Academy if you decide to join. So thank you so much. Bye bye.